You all remember that there was an incredible magazine called Ocean Drive. And this magazine was begun, I think, in around 1990 by a great entrepreneur by the name of Jerry Powers. And Mr. Powers decided that Miami Beach and Ocean Drive was the hottest, coolest, hippest area, and he literally developed a magazine based on the Ocean Drive brand. And when I was talking to Mr. Powers the other day, I was telling him what's going on in this debate and discussion, and I said, Jerry, I said, you know, tell me your thoughts and tell me if you were recreating your magazine today, would you name it Ocean Drive? And I don't want to answer that, but I would like to invite Jerry Powers, who has given so much to Miami Beach, helped put us on the map during some of the greatest days. So, Jerry, if you would, I'd like to invite you up and say a few words up at the podium right here. And thank you very much for being here and everything you've done for our community. So, Jerry, tell us your thoughts. Would you name your magazine today, Ocean Drive, and tell us your feeling about what's going on in our community?
You know, when you asked me that question, I think you remember that I didn't take a long time to answer it. It was like instantaneous, and the answer was definitely no. I came down here I moved here literally 3 days before Hurricane Andrew. And that New Year's Eve, we had already gotten offices on Ocean Drive. Tony Goldman gave us this great space above the News Cafe, and we were going to start a magazine called So Be News. And then New Year's Eve, Sandy and I were literally walking on Ocean Drive, and it was so much fun, and it was like, to set the stage real quick, and I don't want to take a lot of time, it was Versace was here, Calvin Klein was here, it was some of the greatest people in the world. Stallone was starting to come down, and I said to Sandy, I said, we can't name this So Be News. I mean, the trademark street for Miami Beach is Ocean Drive. So we named the magazine Ocean Drive. Today, I just want to say that, like, the brand is Miami Beach. LeBron thought the brand was South Beach. But Ocean Drive is sort of the pillar behind that, just like the 7 Mile Drive in Carmel is that, just like, in Malibu, it's the Pacific Coast Highway. In certain places, there are these great places that sort of are the benchmark for that area. Ocean Drive has deteriorated to a point where it's humiliating and embarrassing. I served on the Ocean Drive Association for years and years with Tony Goldman and Marlo and a whole bunch of people. And we kept trying to take it up. And I remember when Ugo Colombo built the Casa Grande there, and there's all this stuff going on. And today what's happening is, and I respect money, there's definitely 4 or 5 or 6 people who are making a killing and a fortune, but what happens is, instead of serving champagne and caviar, we're serving beer, and we're like people that are drunk on the streets, and it's pretty disgusting. And in my recent visits to Ocean Drive, it's just so embarrassing for our town. Now think about it. Our real estate prices are as high as they ever could be. But in the beginning, Ocean Drive, the street, maybe the magazine to some degree, and so many people who did so many great things, brought all the players in. They brought in the Jonathan Tisches, they brought in the Satai, they brought in all these great people, Perez and so on and so forth, who really took us uptown in a great, great way. And this one street has now, it's on the ocean, I mean, it's on the beach. I think if LeBron today was coming here, he'd say, I'm taking my talents to Wynwood. Right. It's just not, it's just so horrible. Now, the people who are making all the money and own the cafes and put in all the time and, in all the businesses and all the sweat, they should keep doing it, but let's take it uptown a little bit. And I think that, I have a lawyer in Boca Raton who came down here about a month or 2 ago for his daughter's Sweet 16, checked into a hotel on Ocean Drive, it doesn't matter which one, and he checked in, walked out of a room, and they left for 20 minutes. They came back, the room was robbed, police came, and they said, this happens every day. He just filed a lawsuit, as a matter of fact. But anyway, the thing is that it's just embarrassing, and the good news is it's a time right now where we can take this brand and make Ocean Drive well, I don't want to, I was going to say great again, but like.
Is that your red hat? Does it say make Ocean Drive great again?
So, because that's not what I'm doing. But the point I guess I'm making is that I don't know how you do this. Does just by closing outdoor liquor sales at 2 o'clock do it? Probably not. But is it a great first step? Yes. And everybody who's invested in Miami Beach, whether it's in real estate or in pride or in business or in retirement, has such a stake in what this street looks like. I remember being with Mark and like Tony Goldman sitting at the news on any given day, and you would have some of the most incredible people in our town, people who were significant. You would have like the Brett Ratners, Hollywood film producers. You would have Stallone. You would have like just so many people who, Ugo and this one, all these people who were really important today, sitting on Ocean Drive. It was the street. I just remember sitting with Calvin Klein, who fell in love with it, and obviously the tragedy that befell Gianni Versace had nothing to do with the street, but I think we have turned Ocean Drive into one of the most horrible streets in America. Even in New Orleans, Bourbon Street, which has a reputation for party, loose, drinking, and all that, at least they got good restaurants and they have something. I mean, we have really, really done a disservice to Miami Beach, and I just wanted to say that. I would not name a magazine today Ocean Drive, the opposite. But I think it's a good time. I think it's optimistic because we can do something about it. And you can't ignore the people who are making money on Ocean Drive selling to that crowd. But let them sell a better product. Let them, like, take it a little uptown, and they'll make just as much money. But it's a horror show right now, and, like, I don't know. There was a time when my phone would ring in the 90s. People would want to stay at places, you know, on Ocean Drive. They'd want reservations. Right now, people avoid it like the plague. And like, boy, it's horrible because I know people really want to embrace. How can you not embrace the street that's on the ocean? We have the Atlantic Ocean. Wynwood doesn't. I mean, we've got the greatest thing in the world. And I think that I've just been watching this from the sidelines. But when you asked me the question, it brought out the passion. We're really blowing it. And I think that's step one. It's not the end, but it's the first step.
Yep.
That's it.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Thanks so much. Thank you. Appreciate it.